everybody. It's Wednesday, just about, and therefore it is WIP Wednesday time. We are nearly caught up with our backlog, so if you send us stuff in to show off when you haven't seen it just yet, do send me a reminder, because I may have missed it, because we do get a lot of emails. Anyway, every Wednesday we get together and we have a look at all the hobby goodness that's going on, whether you've been printing and painting, just getting back into it, just starting out, or you want some encouragement from the community. This is the place for you. So if you are working on something cool you want to share with us, drop us an email at theboneheadpodcast@gmail.com. Put WIP Wednesday in the title, so that on a Wednesday I can just type in WIP Wednesday and all the entries come up, and we'll have a look at it together. Now, word of warning, you may be inspired by some of the content that follows. First up, we've got Orchestra. Hey Ben, glad to hear you've got your voice back and looking forward to seeing how Skaven do against the nobility in the Bonehead Championship. So this is a little bit old. When was that? Was this last weekend? What have we got this weekend? Ooh, Snotlings and Wood Elves this weekend. So Skaven was last weekend. Select off and not sent in any WIP for a while. I've been working through partially started items on my paint desk. First up, another Punga zombie. This time it's the dwarf, so just the elf to go. So Punga, when they did their Kickstarter, they had like a lizardman, a Skaven, like they had all different undead stuff from different races, which is really cool. I'm a big fan of their models. And Orchestra, this is a very well done piece. I love that he's still got the orange beard, and it does go with the dead skin. Absolutely wicked. Orchestra has a big variety of painting projects, which is dangerous and awesome too. So next up is the Necromunda gang you spotted in the background has also been completed. So this is looking really cool. I am very, very interested in Necromunda. I love the style of these guys. I love how easily you could convert them to be like Judge Dredd style. However, I'm really digging this green vibe from these guys. I love the green paint scheme. It's really cool. It's really unique, and excellent work on the hazard stripes. They're just absolutely... It just properly springs out Necromunda. Necromunda is one of my favourite games growing up. Necro and Blood Bowl. Probably my two top games. The two games I played the most of in the 90s, except for maybe Warhammer Fantasy Battle. Come on, High Elves. Right, we've got another Tech Marine here from Orchestra as well. Painted up my Primaris Tech Marine. So Orchestra's been working on a bunch of Ultramarine stuff. That is looking really good. That is very cool. There's a load of detail on that model. Like, solid colouring work. Orchestra, I love seeing his stuff. It's always cool. And then some genuine WIP now is Tigerius, which looks to be some kind of Space Marine hero. He's got a librarian, maybe, hat. Might be cool. What is this? This is a ball token from a Lisbon team. And finally, our Tabletop League starts in a few weeks, so I thought I'd better get some of the reroll counters for the Welsh Dragoons Lisbon team painted up. Now, they are very cool. Plenty more still to do, including the Grebo Slan team, which I'd already started. Keep up the great content and counting down the days until your tournament in February. Cheers, Orchestra. We've got Bonvember coming up soon as well, so it's going to be a good couple of months. Orchestra, thank you ever so much for sharing. I love seeing that stuff. We've got some more 40k here now from Casey. Hey, Ben. Okay, here's the next project I've been working on. These poor guys have been sitting far too long on my desk, so it's beyond time to get some paint on them and get them to the table. Probably for Kill Team. Is this for the new Kill Team with all the funky shapes? Actually looks like quite a good game. Yes, I haven't even got to play the Shadow Stalkers yet. I'm already prepping for another game. It's a gamer's life. Casey, I totally get you. Well, my desk is actually quite tidy at the moment. Normally it's full of all kinds of different games and stuff. Now this is wicked. Like, look at the edge. There's two things. Edge highlighting there on Dark Armor really makes the model pop. Can we zoom out? Let's zoom out. The reason we're zooming out is because you can see what it'd be like from a tabletop point of view. So when you're sat 18, 24 inches away from the model, you can see that lining around the armor really makes the armor pop. And then, if we zoom in, you can see the work that Casey's done on the damage on the armor pieces. Okay, so by taking the base color, by painting a darker color or a brown or silver as damage, and then underscoring that with your base color but highlighted, it gives that 3D vibe, that pockmark vibe for skin. Really cool, and excellent plasma glow here as well, which I'm a huge fan of. That's the great thing about plasma weapons. Oh, dude. Oh, this is wicked. You've got like a proper little Deathwatch team going on. This is cool, and I love all the work you've done on the shoulder pads. There's some really good shading on those shoulder pads, and each one of them really pops out. That's very cool. Oh, that's a really cool little team there. A big fan of Deathwatch in 40k, because you get to just like chuck in different Marines from different armies, which means you get to do a little bit of like color painting. You can put some extra bits on, so you can see that the guy here has got like the checker pattern on there as well, and you've got like the little individual markings. It's really cool. It's very creative, and it's definitely something you could do for OWA or Renegades if you're playing Blood Bowl. You know, like this guy's from this team, but now he plays for this team. Like they maintain a bit of their identity or where they came from, but they're now part of a new team. So Casey, that is very cool. Let me know how you get on with Kill Team. I'm interested. Warcry, great game. Really impressed with that. Hey, it's Timo. Hey Ben, after a long break, I'm working again on my Snotling team. Played them first time since November against Orcs, and they got a draw. Best Timo. Dude, draw with a Snotling is a win. Now, this troll is fantastic. It's got that proper classic vibe, but we've got some great skin work here. So it looks like the troll has a black eye. I don't know if that's face paint, or it's got like a red mark around the eye, and it's got that discoloration, and it's faded in. So I think this troll has a black eye. But now, if you can also look at the skin there on the lips, you can see that he's actually blended it from green into that flesh color with some pink on there as well. I mean, it's really cool to see. But the whole team is really good, and you can see we've got some more of that color blending going from, you know, actually we can see it here with this guy. You know, we've got the belly work, so where it kind of fades from green into that flesh color is a really good way to add a bit of pop of color to what would be otherwise a really bland build. He says, having just plain green Snotlings. Anyway, it's a really good way to do it. I love seeing it. It's a good bit of skill. I love the marker in the background as well. You've got some good colours on there. And obviously the pump wagon, which you've built properly. So Timo, you get extra points for building the snot wagon properly. I converted my second one because the first one was such a pig to build. Right, next up we've got John. Hey Ben, first time sending anything in. Took a break from painting my Marvel Crisis Protocol models to do a quick speed paint. About 10 hours for the whole team. That's not bad at all. Of my Necromantic. Not managed to get a game of Blood Bowl in yet since buying the game last year, but I've got a big pile of opportunity to be going at, including Halflings, Lizards, Orcs, Nobility, and the Rotters. I've also got the Punga Underworld, Skaven, and Snotling teams in STL format, which I'll get to printing eventually. Last played Blood Bowl in 2nd edition. I liked 2nd edition, but I think that 2020 edition is the best one yet. There's some stuff. I really like it. I'm really liking it. It feels less swingy. It's tighter. It's really cool, and I absolutely love the league system. It's just the best one yet. So let's have a look here at John's Necro team. This is wicked. I love the damage. All right, great work on the skin. Like, great highlights on the skin. I love the work you put in with the damage thing, and I love that you've gone with this kind of like rusty brown to top. Is this a Browns theme? So you've got the orange in there as well. I don't know if it's Brown's theme, but it works. Yeah, you've got orange. It's a really good colour scheme. I love the basing as well. Loads of work gone into the basing, but great work on the skin. This is great. This is great. I love the colours. They work together. The damage is great. I'm not a fan of the pumpkin head. I think you painted it brilliantly just from a design point of view, but I do like the Judge Death head. Now, again, you've got some of that scratch on the armour and some really nice work on the vambrace, where it's wooden. It's just got that nice blend of colour. Terrible looking undead ghoul skin as well. Oh, wow. Excellent work on the ghosts. That looks like John Blanche style dirty sheets, and that's wicked. And you've done the colours, the team colours on the socks as well to tie it in. Blimmin' heck, even your linemen are great. And you can see the great shading there on the orange. I know I say this every week, but great work on the orange and great work on the eyes there for the zombie. So, John, that is a really, really, really good-looking team, and I can't remember if we've got a team name. I'm interested to see your team name there. I'll probably be going back to Crisis Protocol stuff as I'm in a tournament at the end of October, but once I've got my next batch of these done, I think I'll be painting the Lizardman. I've included a pic of my Omega Red for Marvel Crisis at the end as well. John, that is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That is very cool. I do like the Marvel minis. They've executed the design so well. It is... You do get the proper comic vibe from it. I'm a huge fan. So thank you very much for sharing, John. That is awesome to see. Next up, we've got Harry. Hey, Ben. My club is setting up a league and I got a Blood Bowl 2020 box set. As it was brand new, I offered my time to build the contents of the box as I wanted another quick project but don't have the capital. I got these built, primed and based in a week, and now the box is playable in case anyone wants in on the league but doesn't have a team. That's such a good way of doing it. If you're running a league, having some spare teams, one, if you want to run them in the league and have every player play them and do that, it's quite cool to have a narrative team that's shared with the league. But otherwise, it's just really good for new players to be able to take a team and run it, or to try a few games out. Really cool. I love that idea. My team is the Scooby-Doo Horrors team, which I love to see. I've seen that. That's really good. I may go back and paint these models at a later date, although I kind of like the black and white style the Zenithal gives it. Yeah, I mean, this team's good to go on the pitch. My next step will be to get some reps in with my Necro team ready for the league. As for next Blood Bowl projects, I've asked for an Underworld team for Christmas, and I'll combine this with an Ogre's box to get 1,000 TV teams ready to play later on. Keep up the good work, guys. I've fallen in love with this game, and your podcast is a huge reason why. Many thanks, Harry. Harry, thank you so much for sharing. Now, this is a very clever idea. The Zenithal means it brings out all the details. You've got 2 teams, like you said, you paint it up real quick. I love those guys. That's very cool. And they're good to go. Like, you've based them properly, which is wicked. At some other point, you can go back and paint them, but now any new player can just pick up these models. They can see what they are as much as you can with the Nobility team. And I think it's really good. That is a really clever way to get it done really quickly. I completely support this. I think that's a superb way of doing stuff. And it's really good of you to do it for the league as well. Mike, hey Ben, love the podcast. Here's a 3D printed team I got from Etsy. Decided to make a Chaos Chosen team with unicorns for the Beastmen and a female ogre with pixie wings from Mike. So I think we saw this Kickstarter, and I mean, it's a very interesting design. You can definitely see which player is which, and I love it. And I'm interested to see if the color scheme plays out, but it just shows how many models out there you can put into Blood Bowl, and it works. As long as you've got easily identifiable models, like Mike's done here. It's brilliant. Daniel, hi, long-time fan and watcher. Finally on my way to completing my first Blood Bowl Skaven Rat Ogre for my team. Still unsure on the team colours, but enjoying the challenge of the model. Love the old Skaven fantasy models and decided to use one as my team's big guy. Kind regards, Daniel. So, this is a classic model, and it's a classic model for Blood Bowl. Okay, it works brilliantly. But it's got all the stuff, right? If you want to use this guy as Claw, that's great. If you don't, Mighty Blow, it makes a lot of sense. You've done a lovely job with the paint scheme. The pink and the green and the blending you've got there is really, really nice. And I love the pitch design. I kind of want to see you make a whole pitch with that style. But I'm very much looking forward to see the rest of the team, because, I mean, that blending on the blade is really good too. Daniel, that is very cool to see. So this here is Paladin demo. Dustin, here's the commission job I've completed. Took longer than I estimated because my client wanted the minis exact to her Hero Forge specifics that was in colours. Combined with Kiddo being a picky eater, eating dinner one small piece at a time. She liked how they turned out. This is very cool. So this is a bunch of Hero Forge heroes that Paladin has painted up as part of a commission. And you've got the artwork there as well. So you've got the Tiefling, I think, and I think you can see where they're on there. Oh, blooming deviant art. Anyway, Paladin, that's really cool. Nice to see you got some commissions on the go. Sorry, I messed up the display there. Trolls! Hey guys, this week I'm sending you my first attempt at painting star players in neutral colours. Like a lot of coaches, I have way too many teams, no such thing, and only a little desire to buy and paint several versions of every star to match each team. That's fair. So I've decided to have a go at neutral star players and paint up Griff, Varag, and a homemade Hackflem. And I don't know if I like it. Once you remove all the bright and fun colours, they feel more like warriors than athletes. That's probably a fair way to describe the Blood Bowl pitch. Griff looks like Bill and Ted brought back a knight. Gave him a football, and now he's discovering the Goodyear blimp. That is excellent. I would watch that film. That is wicked. Varag just looks like a 40k orc war boss who forgot to bring a gun. Hackflem is cool though. I kit bashed him myself and love him as like a mad scientist loves his monster. Still, I think he lacks sports flavour. Do you have any advice on how to make stars seem more like players? I'm thinking lots of stripes, less fantasy-esque, but neutral colours, whatever that means. I'm coming up empty and can use some outside perspective. Thanks for all the great content. So when it comes to star players, there's a lot of things that people do. They can tie them to their teams. Or they just give each one of them like a unique colour scheme. It gives you an opportunity to be like, right, I've got this team, this team, this team. Varag can play for all of them, but I think Varag likes pink. So I'm going to use Varag as my opportunity to paint a pink armoured war boss. He's got flair, he's got style. And with Griff, like, the armour is beautifully executed. I get what you mean about it being a knight, but even the sash, just chuck it on like a heraldry or quarter it, you know, black, orange, make it pop, make him look really fancy. I mean, painting is really good. The style is really good. I really love how you've done it. Hack Flame is obviously my favourite. Great verdigris on the armour there as well. And I love the tail with the extra glove hand. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And we have got... where are we looking at now? This has got to be Jelly. Hey, Ben. First of all, good luck or congratulations with your nuptials, depending on when you get this. It's a week on Saturday. It's okay. We've caught up. Thank you, though. I have been a bit light on progress the last couple of weeks. Got in a bit of a rut trying to get the final paint scheme done. But watching the Bonehead Championship rekindled a fire and I got back to work. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. The helmets are full of detail, so it took some figuring out how to get some good scheme on there. I think the yellow and white splits turned out well. The final decision was to change the bronze to a gold, so ending up with something that has no more colours from the original idea. Dwarf on the right is the finished scheme for now. In the end, it reminds me of the Wallabies rugby team. A bit awkward because I'd rather be the All Blacks. Happy blocking, Jelly. Right, let's have a look at Jelly. So, what he said. The dwarf on the right is the finished team scheme for now. I like this scheme. I think it's good. I do like the gold. It's added a bit more brightness to it. I mean, the guys, there was a lot of comments about your flesh tones on the last week. And I gotta be honest, man, I agree. Like, that pallid scheme is good. So this is our finished scheme, is it? Dude, that is wicked. Like, it looks really good. I love the skin tone and the colour's good. I like the move to gold. Makes it a bit brighter. So we've got bronze on the left, gold on the right. Yeah, go for gold. Go for gold. Always go for gold. If you are looking for something else, where you've got the armour bits around the edges, I can see you've got the stripe down the middle. You could always put little dags or checkers or quarters in there to add a bit more colour scheme to it if you want. But quite frankly, dude, when they're based, they are going to be absolutely good to go. Absolutely love that, Jelly. I'm not surprised, but I am impressed. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for this week because Milton and I are about to record the podcast. It's been a bit of a rush this week. There's a lot of cool stuff going on and we've been doing a load of filming and prep for content. So sorry for cutting it short. I think there's about 10-15 WIP Wednesday emails left there. So send your stuff in next week. I'm on holiday next week, so I will have plenty of time to get caught up on your messages and all of the things you've shared because it's so cool to see. Anyway, I'm going to go and record a podcast talking all about the new Khorne team and how it's going to play. So, stay tuned for more Blood Bowl. We'll see you soon. Happy painting. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content. We get loads of feedback from you guys and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead Podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.